Hello and welcome back to another Trackmania Live. It's going to be a short one, but again, quality over quantity. We start right away with a new guest who haven't been on this channel before, but if I'm to predict the future, he is going to be here. He's one of the upcoming players in Trackmania, and it's a pleasure to welcome you, Glast. How is life in France, and how are you doing?
Hello, everybody. Life is good. Life is good. I am actually in holiday, so yeah, I feel great.
I
Thank
mean,
you for having me.
holidays. What word is that? I mean, haven't had a holiday since 2019, so I admire you that you actually have a holiday. But what have you been up to these holidays? You cannot travel. Have you done anything particular in France this year?
Um, I play Trackmania a lot,
Yeah,
but yeah, I was with my friends a lot
yeah.
and just I having fun. So it
That's
was
the best
great.
part about holidays, right?
Yes, of course.
But I mentioned this is the first time that you are on the channel, but I also mentioned that this is probably not going to be the last time. But can you introduce yourself to, let's say, a casual fan who might not know who you are? They might know the name Glass, but they might not know the facts about you. Where are you from? How old are you? How long have you played Trackmania, etc.
Of course. So I'm Glast. I'm playing Trackmania since 4 years, so like 2016. I started because I loved the ZRT Trackmania Cup. So as a lot of players, I started to play Trackmania with this event. Uh, what I can what what can I say? I'm in the Outer team. Uh, I'm 17 and my name is Remy.
There we have the most important stuff. But you are a consequence of the Terati Trackmania Cup. You are one of these guys that has been recruited through it. What was your first impression of the Terati Cup? Was it number one? Was it the first time in Grand Rex in Paris? What was your first impression of the Terati Cup?
um, the first LRT Cup I've seen was the ZRT Cup at the Grand Rex.
Mm.
It was so impressive for me. It was a game I've played when I was like 6 years old, but I never touched it again during 10 years. And when I saw all of the players on the scene, it was so incredible um, I was like, I want to play this tournament. I want to be there on the stage. It was like a dream, really, for me when I started playing. So, and it's actually my dream. But yeah, this was the first Zloty Cup I've seen after I saw all of them, but it was the Grand Rex.
Hmm. Do you remember who did you cheer for during that? Was it Javi Flyer? Was it Bren? Was it Carl Jr.? Did you have any favorites then?
High Flyer is a legend for me. I never saw this guy play because when I started to play Trackmania, he wasn't playing anymore. So for me, this guy is incredible because he beat it, Carl Jr. like Gwen this year, which is who is also incredible. So yes, of course, High Flyer.
Yeah. But then you started to play Trackmania. Was it Curator maps you played then, or what maps did you personally play once you started your own career in Trackmania?
Uh, the first maps I played on Trackmania,
Yeah.
it was the ZRT Trackmania Cup maps, of course. I started to play on them, but I joined a team really fast, and I had to play on competitive maps, like tech maps or mixed maps, dirt maps, of course, to be good on the Trackmania Cup, because it has been my objective, and it's my objective, and it's why I play Trackmania, to play the Trackmania Cup. So I had to play a lot of maps, of a lot of competitions. It's why I played, like, during 1 or 2 years, all of the cups, all weekends. I was here to play a cup, all weekends, all weekend, all weekend. Yeah.
Hmm. But there is like a topic in Trackmania that the Serrato Cup is good for the French scene. It creates our own French community. But when did you first get in touch with the international community? Do you still feel that you are part of a French community, or do you feel that you are now involved with a international community as well?
I feel like it's really good. When I started, it was just a French community. Enfin, for when for my friends, it was French people. When I played, I was playing cups. It was French people, and today I feel there is a lot of international players coming from, like, Germany. It's a lot, and it's really good for the game. Also for the community, because the game become uh, famous in the world, and it's really important for the game and for us, if we want to grow. So it's really important, and in my opinion, it's really good, and yeah, I like that.
Hmm. There is a question in chat, and thank you for being active, chat. What was your favorite Serati map pool? Do you have a year that is your favorite? When was Serrator the best map builder?
My favorite map this year, or
Like the overall, do you have any favorite maps from, let's say,
um,
2016 till 2020?
the map I like the most, it's probably Usinature Chicane, because it's a legend map. It's Usinature Chicane. I I learned Trackmania on this map, so yeah, it's my map.
Hmm. But when would you say that you what was your best year in the Serati Cup? Was it this year? Was it last year? And do you feel that you are one of the better Serati Cup players?
Um, it's my best my best year. It's this year, of course. I'm coming to the quarterfinals, which is really good for me. To play against Balulu or Carl Jr. It's really important, and it's really good. This year, I managed to go to the quarterfinals, and and I don't manage to go to the semifinals, but a day probably. I hope.
Yeah.
Uh, but yes, this year was really good with my teammates. Also, it was a great year. We all played good, and yeah, it was the best year for us.
Hmm. Do I remember correct if I say that you beat or somewhat tied Carl Jr. in a round that made him have an easier match following up?
Yes, the match after the quarterfinals,
Yeah.
I was against Carl Jr. And I think I never played against Carl Jr. After, so it was like my first time or my second time on the Trackmania Cups in an important match. So it was really difficult, and I wanted a good seeding for my quarters. And yeah, I was second, and he just let me pass to have a best seeding for the quarterfinals. So it was funny. I beat him, but it was not fair. And today I still angry. But no, no, just it's a game, and yeah, I learned after this. It's Trackmania, so we have to learn. He play. He's
Mm,
intelligent.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But then after you were out, there was a playoffs the next week, and it was all 8 players left. Do you remember who was your favorite? Was it Carl Jr.? Was it Gwen? Was it Bren? Was it Aurel? Did you have any favorites to win it?
uh, I, I think my favorite player for the semifinals was Badulu, because I fought against him during the quarterfinals. He beat me, and I wanted to be disqualified from winner.
Yeah.
So I was for him, but yes, of,
Mm,
I'm for all players. I haven't favorite players in the semi. I think we are all competitive players. So just uh, my I just want that the show will be good, and when the show is good, I'm happy.
mm. That sounds like myself. I don't have a favorite. I just want the best possible match. But if you talk about yourself and as a player, we spoke a little bit before the interview went live. You say you have one big goal in Trackmania. Can you tell people what is that big goal now?
My big goal is to perform on the Trackmania Cup and go on the stage. This year, I hope in 21, 21st. I hope I could do this, but we never know. We have to practice a lot, and it's a lot of work. With my studies, it's gonna be really hard. This year was like I said, it's gonna be my last year. I need to perform a lot, because it can be my last year with my studies. So the next year, I don't know I don't know if I could be there. I could be there with a good training, because we have to train a lot for the Atlantic Rockmania Cup, a lot after the event. So it's gonna be hard. But yes, my objective is to go on the stage, of
Hmm.
course.
Yeah. But if you talk about the upcoming events in Trackmania, then because it's so far into the future, the ZT Trackmania Cup, there is something coming up. Is Trackmania Grand League, and then the Open Grand League. We have some, what to say, drama around the rulebook to say the least. But what is your goal in the Open Grand League as a player? Are you going to play it, and how much effort will you use on it?
Actually, I heard about the drama, but I did not know anything about it. I want to say like I don't care, but but I know it's important for the players.
Mm,
Me, I'm just playing the Trackmania Grand League because, like the Trackmania, the Trackmania Cup, it's an important competition, and it's a way to perform and to fight against the greatest player in the world. So yeah, I'm playing for this.
mm,
After uh, uh, the fact that the form of the competition, it's really good. I like it with the 6 laps. I really like it. It's a thing like that I love train, and I love play. So it's just for fun, of course, because I want to not forget that it's a game. So and I find a lot of fun on the TM Grand League. So yes, is good, and I like it for this.
But there is a for a guy who wants to cover events, it's hard to predict who is going to do well in Open Grandly because everybody can play it if they want to play it. Maybe you are a better guy to ask. Do you have any favorites for the Open Grandly that maybe is going to qualify into the combine?
Actually, it's a big question with my teammates because we all play. We are all practicing, and we are all playing the OGL. So we are four, and after there is a lot of players this year who is gonna play the OGL, and I heard there is only 16 players to get a lot of points in the OGL. So anyway, I think if I have to give a name, uh, I would say me, my teammates,
Mm,
Carl probably, Carl, Razy, who I can say because there is a lot of Panda, of course,
mm,
Binks, Link.
yeah.
There is a lot of players, and I can't say who is gonna be great because the training and the practice are gonna be really important,
Mm.
and we
We have
don't know.
yeah. We have a lot of fun here, but I have time for one more question from the chat. It's from Tankrom. He asks, "What is the best memory you have in Trackmania so far? Is it being a cup, a match, a team? Do you have a favorite moment in Trackmania? And does someone want to join the stream? They can join it if they want to join it. But
I'm sorry, I don't heard because my
yeah,
mom
yeah,
just entered my room.
yeah. Things happen, dude. The question was basically from Tankrom, who wrote it in chat. Is what is your best memory from Trackmania?
uh, my best memory, it's when I takes a lot of fun in Trackmania when I was a beginner. I took a lot of fun on this game. Of course, I meet a lot of players and I played with a lot of players from the community, which is perfect.
Yeah.
And um, my my favorite memory, I don't know really. I I can't say because behind the game there is a lot of fun with my teammates, and after I took a lot of fun in the competitions, and I think it's two different things
Mm,
and um, two different how can I, feelings. So probably uh, all the times the Atlantic Cup, it's always good memories. And after um, my time into teams because it's really good and we always take fun with teammates playing Trackmania.
mm. And that's it for now. But this is not the last time you're on. I predict you to be one of the better players in Open Grand League, and if so, you're welcome back here on the Trackmania Live. And to speak some more English, so it's not only French that you speak in Trackmania. I mean, I like to make French people speak English, right?
It's hard. It's hard.
You did well. I would rate you as one of the better French English speaker in this game. So you
Ah,
did good there. You would qualify into the combine if this was an English speaking contest in Trackmania.
thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for.
My friends didn't say this.
Oh yeah, you need to
It-
get new friends, man. You
my,
get new friends. Come to Norway,
my,
and I will be your friend.
okay, it's good.
But yeah, that's it for Glass. Next up should be Nano. Let's see if he's waiting in the shadows. But before that, a little break. And once again, thank you a lot, Glass.
Thank you too.
It is the producer currently talking at the moment. It was supposed to be in studio mode, so you've just seen the behind the scenes of preparation for the Trackmania live scene switching. It was my bad. Oh god, slapped together, isn't it? Anyways, I guess it's time for the countdown live. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there you go. You guys are online now. Fuck
And now
me.
we're actually not muted anymore. The worst thing I can be is to be muted. My only thing in Trackmania is to speak. So it's time to welcome another guest, and it's also the first time he is on this channel. So it's always a pleasure to speak with new people in Trackmania. Nano, how is life? How are you doing today?
Life is good. I'm okay. Thank you. Thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, of course, it's a pleasure, like always, to bring into new people, because at some points it's too boring to just speak to the Trackmania Grand League players. I mean, who wants to speak with Carl Jr. every day, right?
Right. No.
But since this is the first time you are also on this channel, I will allow you the same opportunity that Glast has. Can you present yourself to a casual fan that might not know who you are, only know your name? Can you tell who are you, what do you do in Trackmania, how old are you, how long have you played Trackmania?
So I'm Nano. I'm 28, French, and I'm part of Quatre team, or Cage3, if you want to say in English. And basically, we just released. We prepared a new competition for the Trackmania game called Trackmania Formula League. So we've been teasing for this an entire month. We released the trailer yesterday and opened the registration for the league yesterday as well. So speaking about me, I started playing Trackmania with Sunrise. I think it was in 2005. So long time ago now. Yeah, I've been playing on Sunrise, Trackmania Nations, ESWC as well, Trackmania United, and Trackmania 2 on Mania Planet as well. And basically, I joined the Quatre team in 2008, and since that date, we are still together as a team, and we are preparing the league together.
So we have been 12 years in one team, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I mean, you can soon like turn 18 and go out to drink with that team. I mean, that is incredible. What is the reason why you're so long in a team? Normally, you see people maybe being in a team for 2 to 3 years, then they find a new team and then move on after that. But how have you guys stayed so long together?
I mean, we are not like every other team, I think, because we started playing together in 2008, and we were not very active in a team way. We were not doing matches, competitions together. We were just hanging out, making a small event just for ourselves, like a small competition with 10 or 15 players in between the team. And we continued to play on Trackmania till 2011, I guess it was. And we just moved on from Trackmania and continued playing on other games like Call of Duty and games like that. So we just continue to hang together, stay friends, and we end up going on vacations together. And nowadays we are still a team, but we are most likely friends. That's it, and we are both.
But you mentioned Trackmania Formula League. But if it's before we speak about that, is that a passion that you have in real life as well, watching Formula One or watching racing overall?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And for myself, I've been watching Formula One since I was 13, I guess. So 15 years ago. And it's the same passion for almost everybody inside the team. So we all share that same passion about motor racing, Formula One. And it was just common for ourselves to start this league around our passion. Made sense.
Yeah, but can you tell people? I might not know this, but I've seen some Formula systems in Trackmania 2 Stadium. Were you guys also behind that, or is that another project?
I mean, I wasn't really around before the release of the new game on Mania Planet. I had the game, but I wasn't doing much on it. And one of our guy, Boss Bravo, the guy developing the game mode, he's been developing the game mode for other guy in Mania Planet. I think it was Croda or SER, I guess it's it. So he was doing already the game mode for them, but it was a very minimalistic version and a lot simpler than what we have today for the TMFL.
But then can you tell people, when did you guys came together and say, okay, there's a new Trackmania coming up, we want to have Formula League in this new game?
So at first, the game mode was supposed to be on Trackmania 2, the whole game. And since Boss Bravo was developing that game mode on that game, this is how it was supposed to happen. But the new Trackmania was announced. I don't remember when it was announced. Maybe February.
Yeah, end of February. Yeah.
That's when we came together and said, okay, this is a good occasion for us. We have to jump on the occasion and develop the game mode for the new game and start the competition as soon as the game is released. And basically, we placed the foundation for the league around March, I guess. And when there was a lockdown for everyone, so that's when we started working on the game mode, the foundation, the rules, everything.
But so did you have any? Sorry, just go on.
We had time at that moment to prepare to be ready for the release.
Yeah. But did you have any inside access to the game itself, or was it just like creating rules and stuff like that?
Since the engine behind the new game is almost the same as the previous, we could develop the game mode on Mania Planet. So we just had to make some adjustments to switch on the new game, and also one of our guy had an early access in the alpha of the game. So it was great for us to place everything together to be ready at the launch.
But then how did you plan to get this information out there? Because there is a lot of great projects in Trackmania that not many people outside maybe the hardest of the hardcores knows about, but ever since the Twitter account was created, the tweet was somewhat viral. Did you contact people to say, help us promote this, or what was the marketing strategy behind Trackmania Formula League?
So obviously we didn't have a precise strategy. Like, if I remember well, we started the Twitter account by the end of July. And I just dropped a little teaser, like a minute long, and it blew up. Like, we had 15,000 views in 5 days, and we didn't know how people would react with our project. So we just went along, put some teasing images, and nobody helped us along the way. So we just, I guess we were lucky that it went viral at the first tweet, basically.
Yeah, I mean, ever since pretty much every single tweet you have has so much attention, and there was little information about it. I mean, do you know why? Is it simply the new game hype? Is it the new game mode? Is it because a lot of Trackmania fans are Formula fans? Do you have any idea about why it's so popular?
I feel like there is a lot of everything you said, because we build around the hype of the new game, and it was common knowledge that a lot of Trackmaniac are also motorsport fans, not only Formula One, but if you like to play small cars on your PC, there is a good chance that you are a fan of motorsport. And I forgot where I was.
About why this one was so viral. Is it the new game hype? Is it the Formula One fans?
when we were developing the game mode and everything around it, we obviously loved it in that team. So we were like, okay, this is really great what we have. But we didn't know how people would react to it. We knew it was good, but would many people be interested in it? And I think people are, so that's really good.
Hello guys, Eirik just disconnected as you can see from my face creeping in onto his cam frame. We'll be back in number one of the day. I think it's going to be the only one, to be fair though. He's always had problems with this. Don't worry, it's a customary. What would Trackmania Live be without a random Discord drop? Seriously, what would it be?
Sorry. I mean, if you're not used to watching this, I mean, you'd probably be like, "What is this guy rage quit?" But my Discord is really weird. It's sort of the charm, like G-Geek mentioned. It's sort of the trademark of Trackmania Live at the moment. Did you finish the question? I listened to the first part at least, but if you didn't, feel free to continue.
I think yes.
Okay. But once you were talking about it, maybe for Trackmania fans that doesn't know what Trackmania Formula League is, maybe it's a good opportunity to explain them. What is Trackmania Formula League? What do we need to know about this event?
So pretty much the Trackmania Formula League is a competition where driver engaged will have to manage their fuel and their tires during an event which will be with a free practice session of 20 minutes. And then first, the free practice will be the moment where everybody will discover the maps. So every circuit will remain undisclosed before the start of an event. So you will have 20 minutes to discover the map, learn the track, and also learn how you will be using fuel on this very map. So after that, there will be a qualifying session with only one chance to do your fastest lap. So when people will be starting the qualifying session, they will have just one lap to make a preparation lap and build the momentum to start their flying lap. And that will be their only chance to do the fastest performance they can. So this is going to be very interesting to see, because I feel like a lot of players might not do movements under pressure, because I tested this free practice qualifying. You feel a lot of pressure when you have to deliver at the very moment. And it's going to be very fun to watch, because some people are just going to choke and under pressure. So this qualifying session is going to give driver points, the first 10 drivers, and also the classification after the end of the qualifying session will define the starting grid. So this will be automatically generated with the game mode. So at the start of the race, everybody will be placed on the starting grid depending on the result of the qualifying session. So the race starts, it will be 40 to 50 minutes long, and people will just have to manage their fuel, their tire, and do a pit stop to refuel, change the tire every time it's needed. And what's very interesting about our game mode is that the fuel management is not just depending on the time, it will be depending on the distance and how much you use the throttle, the acceleration. So it will, not everybody will be consuming fuel at the same rate. So for example, someone going flat out all the way every corner will consume fuel, a lot of fuel, whereas someone doing fuel saving during the race, like release before the corners, will be saving fuel and be able to do maybe 1 or 2 more laps than the guy going flat out. And it's the same about the tires, because you will degrade your tires depending on how you drive, on how much you drift, how hard you brake. A lot of parameters come into consideration about this. And there will be a lot of different strategies with people going longer on a stint, doing less stop, pitting for less fuel. A lot of stuff is going to change the race. And there will be also strategies about just maybe pitting earlier to avoid some issue with the fuel or with the tires, because when you have worn down tires, you will start to feel that your car will be less drivable. That's something very interesting about the game mode. And yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I think people are gonna like it.
Yeah, I mean, so far, what has the feedback been? We have seen some of the biggest streamers in Trackmania has tested it. What is the feedback that you guys are given by the top players, but also the community?
Well, the feedback from the community has been awesome. I mean, I haven't, not gonna lie, I haven't read anyone not being hyped about this. And also about the top players. We have like players like Massa, Roa, Riolu, Spam that showed their interest in the league. So it could be really fun if we have a bunch of top players joining us.
Do you have any favorites for this Trackmania Formula League? Is there someone that maybe is not a normal top player that is really good at this, or is there a top player that will still win it? Do you have a favorite?
I don't know. I think I'm able to tell at the moment, because since it's a special format for the event and the maps will remain secret before the start, it's going to be a bit different like for the TMGL, where people can try the map and train them as much as they can. So I feel like some people are just going to be faster to learn the map, be quick as soon as they do 2 laps. So, and it's not like just a round or a time attack, because with a race that long, you just have to be good for almost an hour. So that's another challenge. And on the other side, we have a public server, and some players I didn't even know are unbelievably good. So they're gonna be on for the first places, I'm sure, for the league.
So, to end this interview, to sum it up, what do people need to know? When is this event starting? Where can they find more information? Where can they potentially register it?
So we have all the information on our Twitter, and we opened the registration yesterday. So everything is happening on our website, trackmaniaformulaleague.com. And it will be starting September 20. That will be the first race. But before that first race, we have an event called Prologue, which will go on from September 11 to September 15. It's basically an event where drivers will have to do a 7-lap race with 1 mandatory pit stop for refueling. And that event is there to make a classification at the end, the total time of these 7 laps. And we are planning to have divisions for the league, because obviously I think like we have 120 registered players as I'm speaking. We are aiming for more, obviously. And the goal of these divisions is to place everybody in the division according to their levels. So we want the best in the Division 1 and Division 2, Division 3, 4, 5. I don't know how many we will have. So the prologue is just there to place everybody. And once the divisions are defined, the first race will start September 20, and there will be a race every week. We have 10 races every Sunday at 4 p.m.
Is there any prize pool for this event? Is there any sponsors, or are you looking for sponsors, or?
No, there will not be any prize cash for the first season, because we just want to make the first season perfect. That's the goal for us. And we cannot afford to have a prize goal if there is some issues, and we just want to make sure it's perfect. And maybe we will see for the second season. We will find some sponsors, I guess. We'll have to see. Clearly not for the first season.
Thank you so much for coming on to the Trackmania Live to explain the upcoming Trackmania Formula League that has, like you mentioned, a lot of hype behind it, a lot of support behind it, and hopefully it will be a continued trend. And eventually, this is one of the major events in Trackmania because it's for sure one of the more special events. So thank you a lot for coming on to allow people to know more about this league and the people behind it. So thanks a lot, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's it for Nano. Next up is the world champion from 2006. He is back on this channel. So if you want to listen to Super Kaloof, well, then stick around for a little break. It's time to welcome a guy back to the channel. He has been here before on a Trackmania podcast. That was in late 2018, but since then he has some sort of reformed himself, and it's safe to say that the last weekend was one of the better performances in the new Trackmania by a single player. So, Carl, Super Kaloof, Dorian Valet, it's a pleasure to welcome you back. How is life?
Thank you, Eirik. Life is great, and I'm very glad to be here with you.
To clarify something right away, I have been mixing up. Should I use Carl? Should I use Super Kaloof when I mention you on Twitter? What is the correct way to pronounce your nickname these days and to address you on Twitter?
Yeah, that's a good question. I prefer Carl because that's my original nickname. And I used Super Kaloof when I came back because everybody knew Carl Jr. as Carl, because there are a lot of new players who don't know the original Carl. So I choose to change, to switch. But yeah, I prefer to be called Carl.
Well, then I'll continue calling you Carl on Twitter like I did. But this weekend, once he was so dominating, I was like, okay, maybe he wants to be called Super Kaloof because he was super this weekend. So, but I will go back to using the old one. But can you tell people from the last time we spoke, that was now almost 2 years ago, what has gone through your Trackmania career then? What has gone through your life? Because it's safe to say that you're just getting better and better at these days.
Actually, when I came back, I was not the player I was when I left. So the game had changed. I didn't recognize the game on which I was playing before. So I was not as good, of course, and I felt like there were a lot of good players, and I had to catch up in some ways, and it was really hard. So, and didn't have a lot of time to practice, or maybe I didn't choose to at this time. And I realized just when I came back how important Trackmania can be in my life, how it can come to balance some aspects in my life. And I realized I could take more time to play. It was okay to do that and maybe to come back at a good level. But I was in in a mindset of I'm done. I already showed what I am capable of, and this is not my time anymore. And this mindset changed some weeks ago. I just actually I saw my name on the top of the leaderboard on the PK arcs, and I realized, okay, I actually can be first again, and it was like a recognition. Okay, I can be there, and it just it was like an authorization to let it go. To okay, now I will try to go first and see how we can go. And so here I am.
But do you then have any goals now in moving into the future? Is it simply to have fun, or is it maybe now to once again be one of the best players? I mean, until let's say the early 2010, 2011, you were at least one of the top 10 players in the world. Is that something that you want to again be a part of?
I would say it will be a bonus. I play for fun because I feel, how I said, how it can be important in my life. But of course, when you win, there is some kind of euphoria. And one of my main goal actually is just to play with the best players. And this is my joy. I am not so much joy to win, but just to play my best against the best players. So, of course, now I would love to join TMGL because this is where the best players are. But I don't aim to win, and maybe that's my force today. It's just that I play to play. I play to play against, or just to play my best game, and without the pressure to have to win. I feel a lot more at peace or confident in matches thanks to that.
There is a topic in Trackmania that normally surrounds maybe Frostbuel, Kari, and Javi Flyer that says if they come back to Trackmania, they will still be one of the best players. You have made a return to Trackmania. Can you tell people how easy is it for a top or a former top player to catch up to the current level, and how long did you use to eventually feel that you have a chance to play against the likes of Carl Jr., Kappa, Pack, Gwen, etc.?
That's a tough question because we are all different. So maybe Frostbuel or Karjan have some weapons to
Yeah.
to be good and to perform, and I have some others. So I know I can't play like I was playing before. The game has evolved. It's not the same game, not the same players. We have to drive faster than before and maybe more consistent as well. So it's really different. So yeah, I don't really know what to say. I think everybody can come back and play at the top, but in my experience, it was just about not forgetting I can be good, because I had forgotten. I could be good, and so I was not anymore. I was in the, how do we say, peloton? Do we say peloton in in the group, the maximum group?
Yeah.
So I had just to realize, okay, I still can be good, and I will be.
Luckily, I watch a lot of Tour de France, so I know what a peloton is. It's
Okay,
like the main
okay,
group, right?
that's great.
But for a guy that has been around for so long, it's 14 years since you won the World Championship. Can you somewhat try to explain it to a guy that, like me, who is somewhat new to the game, even though I've been in for 4 years? What is the main difference from the time you started competing and won the World Championship to the Trackmania that we see released July 1st and the scene we see today?
It's simply a different game. We can't play the same way on the previous Trackmania where we had the so known bugs on the Rammsteins, and yeah, we had to deal with it. So it was mainly about consistency. Today, you can deal only with consistency. You have to be fast and consistent, but mostly fast. And so, yeah, I could be. I always. I was always consistent. So in the past, I could win a lot of tournaments with that. Today, I see it's not possible anymore. I have to be fast. So it's fast in first and then consistency. And then, yeah, the new Trackmania is totally different in the way of driving. The car is more heavier. I really feel comfortable with it. Actually, more in the new TM than the previous one. Yeah, I really enjoy playing it, but it's so different. I even can't compare the two games.
So for people that said it's the same game, you wouldn't say it's totally different. You
No,
cannot
it's totally
really,
different.
yeah.
Yeah. And the players are different. Of course, it's a racing game, so you can be good at both, but not especially.
But let's talk about the following weekend. You won the Game Awards Solo Cup. You placed second at the PKR. Did you expect it to be such a good weekend for you, or what goals did you have before this was? You spoke to me. It's going to be a tough weekend, but you played both events and you still placed in the top of both events. So how was the weekend for you, and what goals did you have?
Actually, 3 weeks ago, I didn't know I could do anything. So it was before I realized I could be good. Before the Cups, I knew I could be first in both. So even if my mind was saying, okay, there is Gwen, there is Pam, there is Twin, no way you beat them. But inside me, I was feeling, okay, I can go for both. And so, yeah, I didn't think I could win the game award with Gwen in final, but before that, I had sent a message to all my family to join, to see. Just come. I came back in Trackmania. I'm in the finals on 2 major tournaments, and just come to see how it goes. Maybe I will completely screw it up, but just come. And because I knew it was possible, and it was just great to see how my inner feeling was good, and how everybody around me could vibrate with it, could how to say they were all vibrating. My parents said me the day after, it was like in 2006 when they didn't know I could win, and it was the same experience in this week. So I knew now between knowing you can do it and doing it, there is a world. But yeah, it went pretty well.
But it's maybe easy to say that you know that you can win it and then you get confidence and you get the feeling. But is there something that you did to find that feeling again, or did it just pop off out of nowhere that you suddenly felt that, okay, even though the best players are on the start line, even though the hottest youngster in the game, that being Gwen, is on the start line, I still have a chance?
Yeah, it's really about what you just said. I still have a chance, and I feel I can. Before that, 3 weeks ago, I knew I could not.
Hmm.
But it was really about the mindset. Now I knew I could. Even if Gwen for me is just an awesome player, I could not believe I would beat him, and yeah.
But what is the reason then why you believe so much in yourself? Is there because you train more? Is it because you have a different feeling? What is the reason why you believe in yourself again?
I don't really know. It's just about I know this feeling about the past. In the past, when I came in a LAN in a major tournament, I knew I was going to win, and I was winning 2 times over 3 approximately. So I knew I was coming to win, and there is no explanation about that.
Right.
It's just like, okay, I come, I win. That's it. I had forgotten that, and just this weekend I felt like, okay, I can come and win a game, and let's just see how it goes if I am in this mindset.
And you came, you won, you left. So I mean, the tactic worked out great, right?
Yeah, pretty well. And in the second tournament with the PK arc, there was Shocker, which is my teammate, and I wanted him to win so much. So I felt so great to be first in the first tournament and second in the second. I would have felt some guilt to be first among in front of him on the second. So it was the perfect scenario for me.
If you talk about the Game World Cup, I think a lot of people saw, okay, it's a Game World Cup. Gwen plays for Game World. He has won the ZLT Cup. He is one of these upcoming players that eventually can be one of the best players. But you have been there yourself. You won the World Championship when you were 16. He is 16 nowadays. Do you somewhat see any similarities with what he is doing as a 16-year-old to what you did in Trackmania as a 16-year-old?
You mean about the age?
Yeah, about the age, how he is in the community. He's 16 and he's already one of the best. You were 16, you were the world champion. So is there any similarities?
I don't really know Gwen, but I think the main force we have when we are 16 is how do we say it in English?
We have a French translator behind the scenes if you want to use him.
Insouciance. Like it's a bit like you don't know you can.
Not really any need to care, basically. That it's not. It can't really be translated as a word, but you don't necessarily need to be worried about specific things in your life when you're that age.
And you don't know you can do it. You don't especially know how far you can go. There's a lot of parameters you don't have in mind when you grow up in life and you have more responsibilities. You realize there are many factors. Actually, in my experience, when I won, I was 16, and I didn't know what was coming. I didn't know why I won, what was happening in Bercy 2006, 10,000 spectators. It was just another world. I could not understand it. And so I was just there and it happened. But in the next years, it was a lot more difficult to deal with the pressure because I knew. So now, so I'm 30, and this is totally different. I learned to deal with the pressure, to just stay calm, even if there are a lot of interaction around me. So yeah, it's totally different. I think you can win at 16 and at 30 for very different reasons, but it works the same way.
But if you talk about you moving forward as a player, you moving forward amongst the likes of Gwen, Tween, Spam, and such, Do you see yourself as one of the best players or better players moving into the future, or how do you see yourself placing amongst the top field or the peloton, as you like to call it?
Hmm. I prefer to stay an outsider. I prefer people think I'm not that good. Prefer people not to be afraid of me. So, so I will do my best not to show too much actually in training, like not doing too much good times or just being consistent and show some consistency. But I will try to always be there in matches, making a doubt in the mind of my opponents. This is the spots where I like to be. I don't like to be favorites because favorite all eyes are on you. You are expected to be to win. A bit like in ESWC 2010, I was about to win. Everything was until the final. I was above everything, and everybody were thinking I was winning this edition, and I did not, because when I was finalist, I totally crashed, and yeah, it was the end for me. So yeah, I want to stay an outsider. I don't want people think I am good. Maybe now that I had some good results this weekend, some people realize I can be good. But I think it's also too young or too early for many people to think I'm really ready to be among the best. So I will just do my best in OGL, try to join TMGL, but I think I'm still in a position of outsider. Very few people may think I can be among the best. So yeah, at the moment I will stay in this position. I like.
But what do you think about the open Grand League format? And normally we see cup mode being used. Now you have a sort of endurance format in champions mode. What do you think of it? Have you played it yourself or have you watched it? And if so, what is your feeling about this format?
So I did not had a closed look at it, but anyway, I'm the 6 lap mode is the one I prefer. It's where I can perform the most. My main strength is consistency, as always. So I'm sure I can do good on it. And then actually, there can have any rules, any. I saw other TMGL players complaining about the rules. Yeah, they can do what they want, but I won't complain personally. I just play with the rules we give to me, and yeah, we deal with it. But I think it's a format on which I can be good, even if there are a lot of pressure, and yeah, you can lose your points at any time. So yeah, it's really about being good everywhere, every time. So yeah, we will just see how it goes, but I'm looking forward to play it actually.
And if you then talk about Trackmania Grand League, where the 16 best players or 16 qualified players are at least, do you have any view about who you see as a favorite? Who should we have our eyes on and put pressure on?
To me, the best player is back in Trackmania. Now it depends a lot on his engagement, how much he trains. I feel like he's a bit like, okay, I can train less and be good, so I will keep it up like this. But if he engages himself in this competition, I think he can win. So yeah, I would put a bet on Pac, and then Gwen and Carl Jr., of course. Gwen showed how great he can be, and Carl Jr. is always at the top. So yeah, I would choose these three.
Last question from me. If you look into the future, like you mentioned, there is maybe a lot of negativity in Trackmania at the moment, at least around the Trackmania Grand League. 16 players released a letter. But if you are to look into the future of Trackmania and Trackmania as an esport, are you positive about the future for this game, and if so, why?
I think so. I'm positive because even if the decisions of Nadeo are sometimes how to say it, on the red. No, people are complaining about it. I think they are always putting efforts to make the game, to keep the game alive and to keep competitions alive on this game. So I'm positive about it. I hope we will have lands, of course, despite the virus in the at the moment. But yeah, I hope we will have that. Now I think the main challenge is to stay worldwide, so not keeping too focused on the French community, because yeah, it might be one of the biggest I would say issue for this game, too much focused on the French community. So I think it can become a lot more opened, and yeah, I'm quite positive. Actually, there are a lot of competition coming, and so yeah, I'm still positive with it.
One final thing, you mentioned that you won the World Championship in Bercy. Serator has announced that he will host a cup that takes place in Accor del Torneo, that being Bercy. Are you looking to try your chances in the Serati Trackmania Cup 2021?
Probably. I did in the previous edition, but yeah, it's a lot of training because you have a lot of maps and they are very difficult. So, and it's not where I'm good at, where you have a lot of jumps or tricks or these kind of things. But I think I can become good. I do believe it's all about thinking I am capable of it. So yeah, let's see if I come to the ZRT 2021 with this mindset, how it can go. Yeah, I'm always just observing how it goes. I never know what it can happen, but yeah, I will probably go for it.
Thanks so much. It's always a pleasure to speak with the clever people in Trackmania, and you being one of them. Experience like nobody else. So thanks a lot for stepping up. Thanks a lot for speaking with me. And hopefully it's not 2 years until the next time. Hopefully you will be one of the favorites going into the Open Grand League, and then eventually we can speak about you qualifying to the combine, right?
Yeah, thank you very much, man. Future will tell us.
Future will tell us. But that's it for this episode. If you have any final words, G Geek, our producer, feel free to let people know.
Well, all I can only say is thank you very much to those of you who tuned in to this rather short episode, I must admit, of the Trackmania Live. Thank you very much to our guests, Glast, Nano, and yourself, Car, for taking the time to speak with us on the scene of Trackmania. Make sure to tune in next week for the next episode of Trackmania Live. We promise you it's going to be a banger one to make up for that. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.